Was 2018 full of setbacks, or was it just a setup for 2019? In this video, I'm going to share with you how to make sure that this year is your best year ever. So the year is basically over, and what I want to do today is I want to share with you a story that really kind of touched me from a standpoint of understanding maybe everything that's happened in the past was simply a setup for what's to come. Back in 1818, there was a young priest who was 25 years old that was given the opportunity to lead a midnight mass. He was going to have to lead the music, and the priest that was there said, listen, it's very important that we have the right music for this midnight mass. So for months he practiced with the choir, where they had a huge old organ in this little small church in Austria. And so as he practiced with this organ, he began to just weave in exactly how this music would work. The night before the mass, the young man is just excited because this is his first opportunity really to shine. And as he goes in, he's setting up all the candles for the candlelight service. He stops by the organ just to practice one more time before the service is to begin to start in a couple of hours. As he's sitting there, he pushes onto the organ and nothing happens. In a little bit of a panic, he continues to play with the organ. The organ ends up not working. It's 6 o'clock. The service is in 6 hours. As he sits there for hours, he doesn't know what to do, and he just feels prompted to go back to his desk. As he goes back to his desk, he opens the drawer, and there is this tattered group of papers that are there from 2 years before. On Christmas night, as he walked home to his grandparents' house from the church, he had written a simple 6-stanza poem. And in that poem, it was very simple. And as he sat there, he felt like, well, maybe this is the answer. It had no music to it. He had never even shared that poem with anyone. Knowing that that was not going to work with the organ, he knew he had a friend of his that played a little bit of guitar. He happened to be the school teacher there, and he lived above the schoolhouse there in that small town in Austria. He ran to the door as he's knocking on the door pretty persistently. As his friend comes to the door, he's like, aren't you preparing for tonight? And he said, I need your help. And as he sat there, he told him that the organ wouldn't work. Was there a possibility for you to be able to come in and to actually put some simple chords to this poem so that in just a few hours we can perform this at the midnight mass? The young man just smiled and said, I believe I can. And so he left and he went back. With only 2 hours to spare, he showed up at the church and he gathered the choir together and he played those simple chords on the guitar as the choir, which should have taken months to learn something, learned this new song. That night in 1818 was the first time ever that Silent Night, Holy Night was ever played. You know, when you think about this, had it not been for the organ that didn't work, maybe we would have never heard that song that we hear every Christmas season. That even just saying it now, I get goosebumps hearing that song or thinking about that song. What I want you to understand is that 2018, odds are there was some area of your life, whether it be business, relationship, financial, spiritual, whatever it is, that there were some setbacks in 2018. What's been interesting for me to note as I get a little older is that all of those things that I viewed back as setbacks or things that just didn't work out or things I had planned for that just didn't work out the way I thought they would, in reality, they were simply setups for what was to come, something bigger than I could even imagine. So this year, as you prepare to go into 2019, I want you to think back on those things that we look back on and maybe we think, man, I wish it just could have worked out, and understand that odds are it was a setup for something even bigger. I hope you have a great Christmas season, and I look forward to all of the success stories I hear from you in 2019.